And it's like since the last time that I left, she was out of town. And the police and all that happened. You know, I went to the police about this.
Now, wait, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get to. So you sent me the email, and it was about the dishes, her threatening you. Mm-hmm. And you said you feel like killing her. And that's when I asked you to call me because I did not want you to end up going to jail, especially when you had never told them, and they might not have believed you if you had been telling them she'd been beating you all this time because you never reported, never told anybody. So that's when I gave you my number, and we talked a long time that night, and we kept in touch. And we were talking, and I said that you should ask you to send me if you were really for real, because I didn't know if you were just making this up, just got the house, lived with me, and I really didn't know if you were for real. Mm-hmm. So I said, send me the dates and times that she did this and email it to me. And you really did it. And I said, okay, I'm going to keep this in case something else happens to you. Mm-hmm. And then I asked you to go to the police. And you actually did it. I was shocked because you were saying how scared you were, how intimidated by her you were. I said, don't tell her. Act like everything's okay when she get home. And you tell them, you give them the copy of the documented dates and times she did this. Give them the same thing you gave me. Let them keep it on record. So in case you have to go back home, you don't have anywhere to go, they don't put you in foster care because sometimes they don't put you with the right family. It could be just as bad or worse. You could actually be raped. Mm-hmm. So if they don't put you anywhere, something else happens to you, they will have on record all the dates and times you said she did this, and I will testify to it too, even though you're in another state. Mm-hmm. And you actually went and did it. And what happened when you went and did that?
What happened was, police came and got me, and I'm explaining, you know, in front of the police car. I said, this is what she doing. And the fact that they didn't see it physically, they told me, they said, well, go back home, talk it out with your mother. It'll be okay. I said, I ain't going for that. I came too far. No, you going to take me where you going to take me. So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to get them to understand. I said, you don't understand. This happens every time she gets angry and we get into a confrontation. This happens. So they're like, okay, we'll get in the back, you know, put on the seatbelt. They take me up to the lighthouse. So the lighthouse requires that they need to call your parent when you get up there. So they do intake and, you know, they ask me all the questions and everything. So they call her. And so she asked to talk to me. I didn't want to talk to her. So she comes up there. Next thing I know, I see her through the glass. I'm like, oh, my goodness. Here she goes.
But they called her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They called her. She came up there. Cause I see her, you know, through the glass. I'm like, oh, my goodness, here she go. So she come in there, and she's like, when were you ever abused? Last time you got a whooping was maybe when she was like 2.
What?
I'm like, she a lie. She damn lie. She lying. I'm like, you know that before this abuse started, we used to get whoopings. You and my father used to whoop me. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm sick of being abused.
So you actually told them how she choked you?
Mm-hmm. I told them everything. They sitting there, I guess, since they couldn't see physically, like, well, you know, she's a nice little girl. She's not in any bad condition. So they didn't believe me. They didn't even want to see the proof that I had. And so the man told me to go outside the room. So I'm sitting on the couch, I'm talking with the other kids. I'm like, she's lying. They're in there talking. And obviously she telling him whatever. Yeah, she got everything, you know. She had everything in her room. She got the luxury, the life, and all this. So I get back in there because she was about to sign me over until the man said, well, let me talk to your mom. So once they talked or whatever, she said, you need to go back in there. She waiting outside in one of the little chairs. So I go back in. He's like, well, he asked me the last few questions, you know, what do you want to do after you get out of school or whatever. He's like, all right, you need to get your things. Your mother is about to take you back home. So I'm walking out to the car. She's not saying nothing. Like, there's nothing I could do as far as getting the police over there because they listened to what she had to say. And I guess he was in there telling, like, you facing major jail time over this. So once I go back in there, he's like, well, you going back home with your mother. I said, what? But I just told you. He said, you're going back home with your mother. You need to get your things and go. I'm like, but didn't you tell me I could get emancipated? you need to go back home. So he's repeating everything, you know, back over again. So, you know, I get my stuff, and I walk out to the car with her. She in the car going off, you trying to fuck up my shit because you ain't angry with, that you angry with yourself? You ain't happy with yourself?
What?
You ain't happy with your life? You need to get you together. You trying to fuck up my shit. Do you know how much jail time that I was facing over this? You know how much jail time? You just being a dumbass and all this, and I'm just sitting there like, I didn't understand. I was confused. I said, well, I just told them the way that she been in here doing me, and they gonna send me back home with her? So we get home. She told me to park it on the couch.
So did she beat you?
She didn't beat me. She didn't put her hands on me. She sat there and cussed me out. And then I went back upstairs. Went upstairs after she got done.
What did she say?
What
kind of things did she say?
Oh, do you know what you just did? You almost fucked up.
Wait a minute, talk a little louder into the phone. You're sounding kind of far off. I want to make sure
Hello?
we hear you.
You hear me?
Yes, just be close to the phone.
Yeah, she's saying, do you know what you just did? You trying to fuck up my situation, trying to fuck up this family. Do you know what you could have done? How much jail time I would have been facing? Do you know what you did? How many times have I abused you?
Why you just didn't tell her?
I told her, I said, you abused me several times. No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
She tried to play that reverse psychology thing like, I didn't do that to you.
So she didn't really choke you? She said she didn't choke you?
Right, that's what she was trying to get me to believe. Like, I didn't choke you. I didn't punch you. I ain't almost rip all your hair out. I didn't do none of that to you.
Oh, my God. And what were you saying?
I said, you know you did. I said, you lying. I said, you lying. You know we got whoopings. You know we got whoopings. You know you verbally, you mentally abused me. My father did also, and now you physically abuse me because you're taking out all your frustrations, all your anger on me. I'm like, you know you did that. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I'm like, yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Stick to
Why
it.
Why you sitting here lying?
Stick to it, because, see, I'm used to that. My mother just told me that a few weeks ago that what she did to me, I don't remember the shit right. So it didn't happen that way at all.
That's what she was trying to get me to believe. I said, no, you didn't. You know you did that stuff to me. You know you choked me. You know you slammed me on the couch. You know you did all those things. No, I didn't. That's corporal punishment. If you sit up here talking back to me, of course, I'm going to jack your ass up. I'm going to snatch your ass up because you ain't supposed to be talking to me like that. All this shit I'm doing for y'all. I'm like, but Ma, that's not the case right there. The point is that you put your hands on me physically and you caused physical harm.
And choked you. That's not what you're supposed to do. That's not discipline at all. That's abuse.
That's not, but that's what they dismissed it as, corporal punishment.
That's what the police said. Oh, that's okay to do, to choke you?
Yes, and that's what Lighthouse said. That's corporal
That's what
punishment.
Who said?
The Lighthouse said, and the officers, the police. That's what they said.
And you didn't have to speak to a supervisor? That would be assault. If she did that to you on the street. So when does the law say that your parents can discipline you by choking you and punching you?
Nowhere. I was just sitting there lost.
So you said they didn't take the report because all you do is ask for a supervisor. They can't deny taking you a report. You were assaulted.
That's the way it went.
But I'm saying, so you didn't ask for a supervisor.
They
didn't take a report?
They wouldn't give me one.
So you should have asked for a supervisor and got their name and their badge number because they can't deny that you were assaulted. That's not legal what she did to you. That's what you need to remember. They can't deny you if you want to file a release report. You were assaulted, and if they don't, you get their name, their badge number, and you ask to speak to their supervisor or the sergeant. And you keep going up the chain of command and ask why won't they take your report when you just said your mother is assaulting you. Your mother couldn't babysit anybody else's kids. She couldn't work in a school system or nursery and do that to somebody else's child and choke them and punch them. And you think they're going to dismiss it and say, oh, that's just corporal punishment? That is totally legal? Do you really